Hi, I'm Frankie Hayward, founding chair of the Harvard Medical School Black Postdoctoral Association. And today, along with three of our HBPA members, I'll be weaving together a tapestry of the Black postdoctoral experience at Harvard Medical School, both before and after the establishment of the HBPA. So I've been at Beth Israel Deaconess for some years now, and although my environment was quite welcoming, it was clear to me, I was acutely aware of the fact that I was the only Black investigator in my environment. But for the most part, while I was in the lab, I felt rather isolated. Fortunately, I did encounter two other Black postdocs that had appointments at different Harvard affiliate hospitals. In talking with them, it became clear that we all felt siloed across Harvard's campus. Many of us had no idea if there were other Black postdocs at other affiliates. We suspected that there might be, but we didn't know. So I floated the idea of establishing a listserv for Black postdocs. And this was around early March. That began to grow, and within a few weeks or so, I floated the idea of our having a Zoom social. So we did that, and it was hugely popular. Well, I should say there were only maybe a handful of individuals there, but it felt great. We discussed our shared experience of being the only in our labs, departments, within our building. And over time, we discussed the growing COVID pandemic and our anxieties surrounding it and the Harvard Medical School research shutdown. And as the weeks gave way to months, we collectively grieved and expressed our frustration at the murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, while brainstorming ways to join in the national push to promote social justice and to bring about an end to anti-Black racism. We also began to brainstorm ways to enhance local diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at Harvard Medical School. We collaboratively put together a proposal that we sent to the Dean of Faculty, George Daly, and the Dean of Diversity, and the Director for the Department of Inclusion and Community Partnership, Joan Reed, outlining some concrete steps that would enhance the mechanisms of support for Black postdocs. They were very receptive. And here we are. So we have established HBPA, and we currently have around 30 members, just over 30 members, all with appointments either on the Harvard Medical School quad or at the Harvard affiliate hospitals. So with that, I'd like to introduce three of our members so we can hear from them.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Victoria Parker. I'm from Newport News, Virginia. I'm a second-year postdoc, primarily at MGH, and my research focuses on the design and synthesis of histone deacetylase 6 inhibitors, and we're hoping that these inhibitors can be used to treat CNS diseases such as Alzheimer's. I'm currently a member of HBPA, and I am the National Secretary of NOVASHE.
Thanks, Victoria. Yvonne?
Hey, I'm Ivan Wapi. I'm originally from Douala, Cameroon, and I grew up in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I'm a fourth year, going into my fourth year as a postdoc in dermatology at Brigham and Women's Hospital. And my research focuses on epidermal stem cell dysregulation as a central axis of many diseases, including chronic wounding, inflammation, and cancer. I currently serve as a chair of the social media team for HBPA, along with Mike Oliphant, who is a postdoc in cell biology on the quad.
Hi, my name is Tiki Hayes, and I'm from Long Beach, California. I've been a postdoctoral fellow for 4.5 years in the laboratory of Dr. Matthew Meyerson at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. My research focuses on characterization of unknown variants of significance and resistance to targeted therapies in epithelial cancers. And I currently serve as HPA co-chair of the social committee.
And I'm originally from Philadelphia. I'm a postdoc at Harvard Medical School with a primary appointment at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. I'm in the lab of Evan Rosen, and I'm working to identify transcriptional pathways that enable a rare population of hypothalamic energy homeostasis regulating neurons to appropriately govern appetite, with the end goal of finding therapeutic targets to treat obesity. So I have a few questions for you all. The first is, could you just walk us through your experience as a Black postdoctoral fellow at Harvard Medical School before the establishment of the HBPA?
Sure. So before I joined HBPA, I honestly didn't know of any other Black postdocs that were in the area. I wanted to figure out where more were, but I had no idea on how to locate or navigate trying to make those connections. It was difficult for me to find that. And for me, what I had to do was search elsewhere outside of the Harvard community, outside of MGH, to figure out where I can make a connection at elsewhere. For me, it was mainly looking into my church, 12th Baptist in Roxbury, as well as seeking out connections through Novashay, which is a organization for Black chemists and chemical engineers. I also turned to a lot of my sorority sisters, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, to try to ask, where can I make these connections to others that look like me, whether they're in STEM or not, because it's, for me, important to have a community where I feel that I can have someone to talk to about difficult situations or just to feel comforted in a brand new area. It's just something I felt would help me thrive. It's something that would help me to feel not only safe in an environment, but to feel like I have family near me, because my family is so far away in Virginia.
Thank you. Yvonne.
Yeah, I think for me, I've been involved in many wonderful URM groups and networks, honestly, since my graduate school days, and maybe even undergrad, and then certainly here as well as a postdoc. But I've never had a group of peers who fully understood the impact of anti-Black racism on my scientific development. So it's been wonderful learning how to navigate my own career, not merely as an underrepresented minority, but specifically as a Black scholar and as a Black man.
Tiki?
Yeah, so I have a similar experience to Victoria. I would say that my scientific environment is, very supportive, similar to what Frankie said, but they don't necessarily understand all of the things that I go through. And so for me, I actually turned to an external community. So I'm a huge basketball fan. I play a lot of basketball. And so I created a community around that of some really exceptional women. And they've been sort of my support system, to date. And so I was really enthusiastic when I got this email from Frankie saying, do you want to join our Zoom calls after, about before the actual establishment of the Black Postdoc Association. And so you can see the smile on my face. I'm always so enthusiastic every time I talk about the association or talk to the members, because before it was sort of isolating. And now I feel like I have a support structure, and even, as Victoria mentioned, a family, because like her, my family is also on the other side of the country.
That brings us to the second question. Thanks, Tiki. How's your involvement in the HBPA impacted your postdoctoral experience? We'll start with Victoria.
So to kind of go off of what Tiki said, it's huge when it came to feeling like there's a family. I felt that the second that Frankie reached out to me, that there was an HPPA, I was so excited. I said, oh, there's other people. Oh, this is great. And also I kind of felt like, since I've connected with everyone, talking to everyone maybe every week or so, or every 2 weeks, it's been helpful, because I feel that there are other people that are going through some of the same things that I am as a postdoc, but just as a Black person within the community during this very interesting time. And I feel like it's others that I've had a chance to talk to about these situations. So it made me feel like there's relief, because I can feel safe to talk about these issues without feeling like I had to hold back how I feel. But I also felt like I had someone to check in on me to see, how am I doing? They're asking, how are you? How are you really? How are you coping with this? And also, not only just in that instance, but on a professional level, there's those that I can talk to about scientific techniques and talking about how can I advance my career, whether it's as a postdoc, whether it's to go into industry. I felt that I have others that I can talk to that can help guide me in ways that I need to for my career to advance.
Fantastic. Yvonne.
Yeah, I think I've really benefited from seeing the outstanding talent in the group, whether that's the recent seminar by Binyam Adane, who's one of our postdocs from Dana-Farber, or the cell stem cell paper by Aaron Moy that was recently published. Just witnessing this high caliber of Black scholarship right here at Harvard Medical School, that's done so much to demonstrate to me that I belong here, that I too can do this.
Thanks, Yvonne. And Tiki, you touched on this, but if there's anything you wanted to add.
I would just say that this support system is amazing, and it's allowed me to process, or given me space to process the world at large while also navigating my scientific career. Because as Yvonne pointed out, we really do have some exceptional members doing some exceptional things.
Okay, and then finally, what message do you have for any Black postdocs in our community that are hearing about the HBPA for the first time?
You should join. If you're looking for a stable support system that is here to root for you, to cheer you on, that is here to provide resources that can help you to not only hone your career professionally, but to give you that sense of community, you should definitely join. We're full of positivity, enthusiasm, optimism, and full of networks that will help you to navigate the STEM space, but as well as just life out here.
Yvonne?
Frankie, in Cameroon, we say, ça prend un village, meaning it takes a village. You know, none of us can get through our training alone, especially in these times. You know, let's just be honest. So I invite anyone to join along, follow our work, learn about the scholarship that is happening right here on campus by some truly outstanding postdocs. I think HBPA is an excellent place where you can find that.
Thanks, Yvonne. And Tiki?
Yeah, I would say if you're looking for a supportive community that focuses on professional development, scientific outreach to underserved communities, social engagement, and mental health, please join us. We're right here and ready to accept you into our family.
All right, thank you, Tiki. And with that, I'll let you know how you can follow us. You can follow us at HMS BPA on Twitter. So that's at HMS BPA. And Yvonne's very active on there, so you can keep track of what we're doing. I also want to let you know, if you're a potential member or a potential ally, we're very enthusiastic and excited to work with you to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion for Black postdocs and all postdocs on Harvard Medical School's campus. So with that, I'll say thank you and take care.